Welcome to the Kenny Beat series, where my name is Jared. Helios and Mr. Blue Nibbles III are literally sitting right above my Audacity on my computer screen, and I'm about to walk you through how I beat Fallout 4 World War II style. I decided to play as my Aunt Rosa because my Aunt Rosa is the baddest woman that I ever know. She always had the kind of messy hair, like she just woke up from partying way too hardy on the weekends, and she was just the coolest, smooth-talkingest woman you would have ever met. Ended up starting off by forgetting the SKK fast start mod on there, where you can just blaze through all this. You don't have to do all this nonsense because, again, I think this is like the 15th time I've beaten the Fallout 4 series. Decided to play the series just a little bit differently this time, kind of around. Like I said, I wanted to use bolt action and revolver only weapons. As you can see, I set my strength to 3, perception 3, endurance 1, charisma 8, intel 4, agility 2, luck 8, and then I used my special book to add luck to 8 as well too. So the rules for this playthrough, again, were weapons that could have been used in World War II. Now, the 10mm pistol takes the place of the 1911, because I know that that's a gun that they actually used back in their World War II, and I didn't download any other mod except for 2 of them, the Lee Enfield and the Mauser mod with the Mauser anti-tank gun. Ended up not really using the anti-tank rifle because it was big, it was unwieldy, and let's face it actually just kind of really sucked. Ended up fighting my first enemy here, get my first bit of armor, before I ended up going out and getting the Kar 98 and crafting it. And I just want you to listen to the beautiful rapport of this weapon, but also take note of the firing timing. There's that small little delay. That will come in a little bit later. The Kar 98 has a lot of cool little things that you can mod on it, as well too as you can actually change like the metal parting there. You can change it to all gold, but it's like a couple hundred caps. Ended up doing a lot of side quests during this time frame while I was finding the Abernathy Pocket Watch dog meat. River always needs to get her teddy bear. And I don't know why, but I love that animation that it's like, hey, you give River a teddy bear and she'll play around with it. The one thing that I didn't like about this playthrough, is I broke things. I broke things a lot. I definitely broke things a lot. And we'll cover all those when it comes time for it. But I did this play out kind of in honor of Paul from Mitten Squad, right? If you guys have ever watched the YouTube channel Mitten Squad, he is one of the original people that it got me into trying to beat Fallout 4 in very, very specific ways, because he tries to beat a bunch of different games in a bunch of different ways, and he did it all on a Mac PC. So I thought, what better way than to heavily restrict myself to World War II weapons, mostly the bolt actions and revolvers, because I know that those were big back in the day, but even though they had a couple Lugers, they had a couple 1911s, that would be actually one of the last times I would use the 10mm pistol pretty much throughout it. And the only reason why I used the Gatling gun there is I know there's a story of a World War II U.S. soldier that basically made the 30 cal Browning automatic gun handheld for just various reasons. Once I finally became level 5, after leveling up there, I ran over to Wolfgang, told him to lower his gun, because if he keeps waving in his face, it's going to be a problem of his. I told him to give me all of his money. He did. And then I offered to help him out with Trudy. And he's like, sure, go talk to Trudy. She owes us a bunch of money because I, maybe willingly sold her kid a bunch of chems that I knew he couldn't afford. I told him to pay me, but he's like, hey, you stole all your money. I was like, cool, I'll go talk to Trudy. Once I went and talked to Trudy, though, I already had it in my mind that I was going to kill Wolfgang. I hate Wolfgang. I really don't like him a whole heck of a lot. But the way that my Aunt Rosa would do things is she'd do everything so charismatically that everyone would feel like they would win. And so I was like, all right, that's fine. We'll end it peacefully so nobody has to have a war or fight. And then, because I remembered I stored a critical VATS shot when she was done talking, this was the first of many glitched quests that I had. Put one to his dome, and then I used the critical to get a critical strike on what looks like his thorax there, and then take out Simone with a double tap the chest. and then she tells me I'm an evil individual. Once I finally make it to whatever this place is, Diamond City, I give Sheffield Nuka Cola because, again, what would my Aunt Rosa do? She would always give those who are in need of something a little bit of help. Aunt Rosa was the kind of person that literally took 3 hours out of her day. She took 3 hours of PTO to meet me and my two other brothers in the Atlanta airport because we had a 3 hour layover, and actually treated us, because this is when she worked for Coca-Cola. She treated us to a soda called Manzana Mia, which was actually released in Mexico and never released in America. And that's just the kind of woman that she is. If someone is needing some assistance, 110% going to be there for you, which again is part of the, I think, one of the reasons why I give Sheffield the Nuka Cola every single time I see him. And again, did the speech check to convince Darla, get out of here. Sunny is not good for you. I do know that Sunny usually has the roses and chocolates submachine gun, I think is usually what it is. So I loaded up on some Psycho, as well as I think one or two other medications or something like that I took, just to kind of help out with things. And then I ended up killing Sonny Malone and his gang, or Skinny Malone and his gang, because I wanted that gun. Yes, I know the power armor looks really, really weird and odd there. It's just part of the programming, I believe. But again, I was trying to use World War II guns, and because Skinny Malone is a gangster who tries to take advantage of people and kidnaps detectives who are just trying to do their job, I thought I'd kill him. But he didn't have the guns and the roses and chocolates. That kind of pissed me just right off. But I did get my first double barrel shotgun, which shotguns were actually pretty big in World War II. So it was like, oh, okay, I can use it. Actually ended up talking to Mayor McDonough, and through, I guess, sheer my aunt's luck, this is one of three. So I've only ever passed McDonough's speech check 3 different times. And I liken that again to the luck I instilled in my character and my charisma, because again, I'm playing as my Aunt Rosa. She's just a good, kind-hearted individual who just really liked to fucking party hardy with the cousins and make it rain till 2, 3 in the morning, and then she would also be like one of the first ones up, and she wouldn't nap throughout. She'd just do all the right things. And then I ended up reinstalling the mod for the revolver that I ended up using, the 4570, the Ranger Sequoia. This one is not modifiable, but I basically used it throughout because, well, look, it's beautiful with the engraving, and if somebody took the time and patience to detail and create that, I'm going to use it. Realized that I don't negotiate with terrorists. This is the person, after all, who did kidnap my son. So let's take some more drugs and let's go ahead and kill a motherfucker, and not do it and do it right, because he said, "Hey, I just want to talk." Nah, I don't. I don't talk to terrorists, right? Terrorists are evil individuals. They don't deserve to live. So what was my game plan? I'm gonna throw a nade at his foot. I'm gonna throw a nade. I'm gonna shoot said nade, and then I'm gonna destroy Kellogg. Well, things don't really go according to plan, which is kind of like the theme of this episode, where a lot of shit just glitches out on me and tasks just don't go as they're supposed to. So I throw the nade at his feet, ended up not going into VATS quick enough because I was going to shoot the grenade, watch it go off, and then shoot Kellogg a bunch of times. Well, Kellogg gets blown the fuck up. I shoot him in the head, and then again I double tap him in the chest. He dies. Hit the synth at River, and yeah, by the way, the armor is really funny with the Car 98. I would actually implore you to do a run through with the Car 98 and power armor. Things just look ridiculously weird in the power armor when you reload the gun, because it's a weird animation. So I ended up defeating Kellogg, getting the information that I needed. On my way to go find the other 4570 government revolver, I ran into Boomer, and there's a hunting rifle. The hunting rifle you can make some modifications to. I wanted to modify it because I wanted to have a stronger version of it, but I ended up using the Ranger Sequoia the entire way through. Accidentally tripped an alarm where I got to fight a bunch of... I fought 2 Alpha Deathclaws, and I also got to fight a bunch of raiders that had skulls on them. So that was a fun little vacation. But just like in ICP's music video about... I guess shooting people. I forget what the song is called, but you can shoot people from the tower. where he's like, I was shooting from the tower, and then you get shot in the face and you die. But yeah, I fought a lot of Raider veterans. Ended up doing some side quests for the Minutemen because why not? This minute, I love the quest because it's like I get to go kill myself. I get to go kill myself, Jared. It's fantastic. It's awesome. I think it is the funniest thing in the world that the main villain in the game's name is Jared. Well, not one of the main villains' names is Jared, because you never really find out what your son's name is, besides Sean or what he changed it to, because they named him Father, which is really fucking stupid. Maybe he changed his name, maybe he was given a different name or whatever, or he doesn't really tell you what his name actually is given to him, besides the fact that he's father or the baby. I kind of always wonder what his name would actually be. Um, so I killed Jared, do a couple things for the side quest there. When I go to Good Neighbor, I remember you can find the Vault Tech rep here. And I wonder if there was a couple different lines of dialogue, because the few times that I've talked to him, he never really seemed to care that you were cryogenically frozen. He just seemed to care that he never got into the vault, which always kind of upset me, because it's like, dude, you do know that like you were just cryogenically frozen. Like, I'm not some supernatural being. I didn't survive a whole lot. It's literally just me coming out of hibernation, and now I have to find my kid because the Institute kidnapped them. And you're like, oh, I'm a ghoul. I'm 200 years old. And it's like, dude, there's a lot of actual cool places for ghouls to go. You're just being a hypersensitive, dramatic Nancy is essentially what it comes down to. Like, the dude's just being a Nancy. The slog is there. Good Neighbor's really cool with, the ghouls. There's a lot of people in the game that I think are really cool with the ghouls. The only place that I think doesn't actually like the ghouls was Diamond City, and that was just because the mayor decided to not have ghouls in Diamond City. So it's really weird that you would complain so much so often about not being able to go anywhere, because the vast majority of places will take you. It's just that you want to be a salesman, and not many people need a salesman. I remember there's a line that Nick Valentine says, it's like, hey, if you had a suit of power armor, it could help you out a whole heck of a lot. So it's like, oh, that'd be cool. What if I talked to Nick in the suit of armor? And so what I did was I reloaded a safe right before I did Kellogg's little brain thingy, which we all know I absolutely hate. And this was kind of the name of the game here. As Paul from Mitten Squad would say, because again, this is in his honor, this is where the real game begins. I made a joke right there where Amari and Valentine are flirting there. I made the same joke for continuity within the live stream that I was doing. Nick Valentine changes from, if you had a suit of power armor, he goes, but that suit of power armor you got on might be your guardian angel you're looking for. Or he goes, you could use a suit of power armor, and that could be your guardian angel. Like, I feel so depressed that those are the two options that you get, where it's like, if you find a suit of power armor when it's right next to me, or it's like, oh no, if you wore that suit of power armor, it might be easy. I did get Piper it's weird because I like treating my NPCs correctly. You can kind of see it in the background there, but Piper's got the hazmat suit on. While going to the Glowing Sea, I broke into this house and I found that I'd have to fight a sentry bot for some reason, because you open the door and it nicks off the sentry bot. This was kind of the theme of the show, because again, this is where the real game begins. I got fucking sidetracked constantly, like absolutely constantly. This game threw me on so many side quests trying to figure out how to get the Minutemen shit done, how to not have to worry about a whole lot of things, and like it kept getting so bigger and bigger and bigger, and it kept pissing me off, because I'm in the Glowing Sea, and I find a bunch of raiders that are talking about Tesla coil guns and all these other things, and I find Coroni, end up killing him. I get hunted by the Enclave. The Enclave is like, hey, we want our gun back. And I'm like, well, I'm going to steal all your armor now. And then I have this Tesla coil gun that is not one of the mods. I think it's one of the new things that they actually added. So I can't use this beautiful, awesome Tesla gun that I find, because it's a bolt action and a revolver playthrough. So let me just go fuck myself. And the Enclave power armor actually came in handy. It was pretty awesome. And it was interesting. I liked the updates that they added to it. Got sidetracked again. Found Pikmin. Worked my way through all the raiders trying to find Pikmin. And because Pikmin is a serial killer, I killed him because look, let's face it. If the Institute has, I'm sorry, if the Commonwealth has as many problems as it normally has, it doesn't need a serial killer. And I also
Wait, wait. Where's my cell phone?
what? Why do I need my?
Hold up.
Okay.
So, I don't know who the fuck you are.
Well, I'm the narrator.
Okay. Let's see here. When was the
Oh yeah, this
AK-47
is when I was trying to figure
made?
out the AK-47.
1947. When did World War II end? September. Fuck. Fuck, dude. Fuck me. That's, dude. That's Helios. That is 2 years too old, brother. It's 2 years too old. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. I can't. I I download. See. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Let me get back to telling the story. So yeah, I found out. I was trying to find out if there's an early enough time to use the AK-47, but like, I don't know when it first was started in pre-production, but it didn't start until after the fact. But I ended up realizing that I could use the Japanese Type 100 submachine gun in the game, which you can find a little bit later on. But I ended up not using it because it wasn't worth it to me with the big guns that I had. Ended up rescuing K198 from the Corsair. Ended up having my game crash on me multiple times, which is why I decided not to download. Because like I know the STG-44 was a mod, and yes, I know the screen is black. It's supposed to be black right now. I know the STG-44 was a gun that you could technically. I think there was a modded version of it in the game, where you could add it to the game, and I was like, I'll add it to the game, but I crashed quite often. That was one of the problems with the game is that I would crash quite often, and so the more I progressed, and the more that I actually, entrenched myself in the game, the harder and harder it was to kind of keep up because there would be points where I'd crash, and then I'd fall back by like 2 hours. Um, I'd crash and I'd only fall back by like 30 seconds. So I just kind of decided to leave it where I was at. And this is where I spent about 5 to 7 hours of the game. And as Paul would say, this is where the real game begins because I couldn't unbug the Final Minuteman quest. And what had ended up happening was I had to go to SKK Workshop Utilities 02B, and I had to update the Minuteman quest line, which puts me at 19 player owned 19 player owned workshop parent workshops. 17 of them are allied with the Minutemen. But what this does is it resets everything to number 4, where I'm done taking independence, which then reset big guns. So I was able to actually do big guns with Ronnie Shaw, run through it, and then I was able to defend the castle after old guns, and then I was able to successfully start trying to complete and finish the Fallout 4 playthrough. I know if you watch the live stream, I sound ridiculously confused right now, but it's just simply because I didn't know what was going on. Because again, 19 player owned workshops, 17 of them are allied with the Minutemen when you're supposed to have only 8. So that was ridiculous. Ended up planting the fusion core on the main system itself, talking to Preston, telling me, "Hey man, it's time for us to teleport out of there." And that's when I do what I do best, which is blow the institute up. And then the live stream is actually really interesting. I'm gonna leave some outtakes at the end here, and a few things that you can listen to. But it took me a good minute to beat the game. Can you beat it with a bolt action and revolver using those as your main weapons and sticking to World War II weapons? Yeah, yeah, you can. Is it hard? Abso-friggin-lutely. Is it worth it in the end? Yes. So I'm thankful to those on Reddit who helped me. I'm thankful to my Aunt Rosa, and I'm thankful to all of you watching. Let's cut to where I talk about my stats. Show you guys my stats here at the end. I did level up after just having some fun in the Commonwealth out there. So just to kind of show you my stats here, I've got 4 in strength, 1, 2, 3, 4. I ended up going 5 in perception. Endurance stayed 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in charisma. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in intelligence. 2 in, 2 in agility, and then 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 in luck. I'll show you the original selection of my stats now. And you can see that on screen how I originally set them up. This is what ended up going through here. Yeah, I know it says I'm level 44, but I ended up picking level 30. I ended up finishing the game at level 43. As a cap collector, I ended up doing cap collector 3. Ended up adding 5 to gunslinger because of the revolver, the non-automatic, as well as 4 for rifleman, just because obviously again non-automatic rifles. Ended up going with 2 for medic because I realized that I was in power armor a lot, so getting hit wasn't that bad. I did the fortune finder. There's a chance of enemies exploding with a shower of caps. This actually helped me make a lot of fucking money going forward. Ended up only having 3 into armorer. But the reason why I did 3 into armor was to be able to build up all my armor shit. I had 4 in gun nut because I needed some in gun nut. I had 3 in the blacksmith to add some power armor things that I needed. Had level 3 in locksmith, just simply so I could unlock all the master stuff, as well as hacker. I was able to unlock all the master stuff. I did do idiot savant level 2 perk, just simply because I wanted to be able to get all that random XP from all the nonsense here. And then I did end up going science rank level 4, just simply because I had some mods that needed science on it, and then I had just 1 in inspirational. So that is my special layout for you there. And then I did want to show y'all some of my wonderful, beautiful stats here. Where's it at here? Or is it? Is it general? Oh yeah, I slept for 160 hours. I waited for 162 hours. I forget where it tells me. I almost completed 50 quests, but a lot of fucking side quests there. Um, yeah, after this, I murdered a couple people. But let's go back to the main menu, where if we look at the exit save right before I go kill a bunch of things, this is when I was back in Sanctuary. 1 day, 1 hour, and 3 minutes is how long it took me to beat Fallout
These squares
4.
make a circle. All these squares make a circle. All these squares
Okay, what's up with him?
Don't mind him. He just got through dropping a gallon of LSD.
A gallon?
A literal gallon. Out of a milk jug. I don't even know where he got it from. He never leaves the...
Tommy, I need you to tell me that I can leave the lookout if I want to.
Mr. Popo, you may leave the lookout if you...
Rick, don't tell me what to do!
I heard you've been struggling recently, and I just want to remind you that you are faster than the forever yeet. You've drank too much caffeine to take the long nap. You exist out of spite. You've made it this far, and things might not be going your way now, but just keep going, just in case they get better. Statistically, at some point, they got to get better. Also, when you guys meet me, if you could stop saying, "Oh my God, he actually sounds like that," that would be cool. If you guys didn't say that. Yeah. But yeah, everything's going to be fine. And the worst case scenario in your mind is probably not going to happen.